Hi everybody, Coach Julia here. We're going to talk about fixing your first pull today. So the first pull in either the snatch or the clean refers to the moment the bar breaks off the ground to the phase somewhere around the knee, right? Some coaches will stop it below the knee, some coaches will stop it above the knee. I'm going to say right above the knee before you initiate the acceleration phase. So the key components to this part of the lift are, number one, that it's relatively slower than the rest of the lift. This is like the easiest thing you can fix if you slow it down. Going into the lift with the assumption that the whole thing is fast is only going to set you up for failure. There is a moment where you cannot achieve any more velocity, right? Where you've peaked your ability to speed up. If you start really fast off the ground, you're going to hit that peak velocity much earlier in the lift and thus not have that potential reserved for the moment when it really matters. So the first thing we're going to do is slow it down. We're going to work some pauses. We're going to talk about how the transition around the knee works. So I'm going to give you a few simple tactical things that you could do to help improve your first pull, which will set you up for a more successful lift later on. Okay, so fixing that first pull requires you to know how to set up correctly, right? Figuring out that appropriate setup and start position for either the snatch or the clean is going to help get you where you need to go in terms of starting the lift. When I set up, I want the bar over the balls of my feet. So if we think about a foot, your toes are up here, your heel is way back here, the middle of your foot is somewhere in here, the ball of your foot are going to be the knuckles, okay? Depending on the athlete and how long their legs are or how short their legs are, they might be just a little bit closer to the midfoot or a little bit further away, but ball of the foot is an approximate place to start. If you're starting and that bar is over your toes, you're too far back behind it. If you're starting and your shins are already in front of the bar, then it's too close. When we get set up, what's going to naturally happen is that bar is going to shift forward. So starting with the bar over the balls of the feet, feet are going to be approximately hip width apart, maybe a little bit of turnout depending on the athlete. From here, you're going to pull those shoulders down. I like to remind athletes to set their upper back before they start because they can get a better sense of it. So shoulders are down away from my ears. The pointy part of my elbows are pointing out to the side. So I already get a feel for that movement. From here, I'm going to push my hips back and allow my knees to shift forward so that my shins will reach towards the bar. I'm going to go ahead and find my grip. Now from here, it's important that we feel the balance in the feet. Try to shift your weight really far forward to the point your heels come up. Now try to shift really far back where you're kind of sitting passively behind the bar. We don't want either of those. We want to be right in the middle, pulling the slack out of that bar, and then from there, you're going to push through the ground, keeping your toes connected to the floor just below the knee, come back down. Knee. So that first variation, a snatch start, we can do that with a clean start is going to take the bar and you're literally just practicing breaking off the ground, making sure that as you do so, the upper back doesn't change. Nothing in my torso changed, nothing in my feet really changed. The only thing that happened is I used my quads to get a little bit of extension through my knee and to push the floor away. Our biggest priority in this phase of the lift is making sure that the bar comes in towards the body. So it should move backwards if we're watching it from the side. Again, you'll notice if that hip sits too much, the bar will come forward. Conversely, if your butt shoots up faster than your shoulders, the shoulders drop, your lats are going to naturally relax and let that bar swing away. Neither of these are ideal situations. We want to try to maintain that bar as tight to the body as possible and then push with the legs so that the whole system starts to elevate. Okay, so start there. Get a sense of where your weight needs to be in your feet, right? Try sitting too far back, try coming too far forward, find the middle ground. Go slow. This doesn't need to be the acceleration phase. Practice just getting the bar to the knee, maintaining your back, coming back down. Start to notice if things like your toes start creeping up off the ground, or if the bar starts to swing away from your body. These are all indications that something has gone awry in the lift and we need to address it. Okay, so getting around the knee is when we have the most amount of stretch on that hamstring. It's going to be the hardest part in terms of maintaining your position, because once we do that, after we get past the knee, then things start to equalize a little bit more and we get into a position that you can jump from. Getting around the knee takes practice. Practice starting above the knee, coming back down eccentrically. Practice going from right below the knee, going around it, and then practice going from the ground to above the knee. So you might be thinking, Julia, my knees are just in the way. I keep hitting them. I don't know what to do. They're so big and out there. Help me. As we're going around the knee, they kind of need to do two things. One, they're going to shift backwards a little bit. So back towards your body, your shins will become more vertical. They also need to open out to the side. That rotation of the top of your leg to open your knees is what's going to help keep that bar really close to you. Otherwise, it's harder, it's more demanding on the upper back and the lats to keep the bar in close. It also requires a lot of stability in your hips to be able to do that. So it's, again, something we practice. Okay, so try it out. That's a lot of information all at once. You're going to practice slowing it down, pulling the bar just from the ground to below the knee. Then you're going to practice going from below the knee to above the knee. Then you're going to practice going from the ground, below the knee, and then above the knee. And then you're going to seamlessly go from the ground to above the knee. You can do this in the snatch. You can do it in the clean. Break it down, keep it in small bite-sized pieces, get really, really good at moving the correct way. Proper balance through your feet, proper back angle, knees moving back and out to the side, and lots of hamstrings. If you have comments, questions, leave them. I'm happy to chat. Subscribe, give it a like, find me on Instagram. Until next time.